MovieBlab.
Is this still counting down, or are we like on?
We're in there like swimwear.
Hey, if you wanna test me, you can get it. Got on time for the gimmicks. I ain't gonna play with you. I'm a beast in the game. Gonna remember my name. I can never be tamed. We are not the same.
You must create the instructions in your mind.
I'm God.
I'm God.
Oh.
All right, guys, we're coming at you with Conrad Gonzalez, with Danny Dobbins. It's going to be a top 10 countdown, top 5, top whatever you want, top 15 total, top 5 times
Like
3.
this many.
80s movies, guys. We're talking 1980s movies. Oh, my gosh.
Oh my God.
Let's get to it, guys. I'm going to go for this intro.
Danny, did I see a tattoo
I'm the captain.
on your forearm?
Yeah. Says SK8 and then a skateboard. Skate.
All right, guys, here we go. I'm going to do this intro real quick.
Forever, dude. Forever.
Hey, everybody, I'm Andrew Edison, and you're tuned in
To MovieBlab.
MovieBlab. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's people on.
Action! What's up, everybody? It's time for MovieBlab. That's right, it's another amazing episode, and I'm here with Danny Dobbins and Conrad Gonzalez, and we're going to be breaking down our top 5 favorite 80s movies to watch during coronavirus, so tune in, it's going to be dope!
Top 5 comes alive. Yeah.
What is up, everybody? As you can see, it is 80s night. It is 80s night here on the Blab.
80s.
I got
80s.
Conrad Gonzalez. Conrad, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there live from Austin, Texas. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm hanging in there myself. That's the only way to describe it these days, right?
Right.
Danny
Live.
Dobbins, how are you doing, bud?
Live. I'm alive.
He's alive and live. That's Danny Dobbins, also known as Daddy Dobbins.
Daddy Dobbins.
And, of course, Conrad Gonzalez, the famous actor.
Not your daddy, though.
So,
Well,
what
you
we are
know.
doing today,
We'll talk.
gang... What?
Huh? No.
Okay, damn it. What we are doing today, gang-roonies, is we're going to be watching our top 5. We're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite 80s movies, and we have this awesome banner right here that's going to get you super excited. I didn't get enough time to load in some 80s music, but I'm going to give it my best chance. I don't think that's not really it, is it?
If you want, I mean, we can just sing it. Like, you spin me right
Enjoy this
round.
80s music.
Baby, right round.
How's this?
Right round,
Hey,
right
since we're
round.
talking film,
This feels a
since
little
we're
chill
talking
wave.
film,
This is a little more
girls on
synthy. It's
film,
got it going on.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
he's got all the hits. We're talking about 80s movies.
Here we go, guys. All right. Conrad Gonzalez. Let's start with you, bud. What is
All
your
right.
number 5 pick for
Right.
80s movies to watch during coronavirus?
All right, so just to preface it a little bit, I decided to go with deep cuts. I think last week we kind of touched up on some 80s movies and some iconic ones and all that, but these are deep cuts that I
Yes.
think might have more meaning now that everyone's in ISO.
Oh, wow.
And
So,
so-
there's so
so-
many layers of thought here.
Right. So, and you know what, Andrew? This is not like I didn't even Google them. These are movies that I saw first run at the movies, right?
Yeah,
Whoa.
you don't
And
need
this
yeah.
one, This
Whoa.
one was 1981. I was 14 years old. I'm not even sure how I got in because it was rated R, but it was the 80s. It was the first time that I ever saw William Hurt. And it's a movie called Altered States.
Yes!
And,
Yes!
And the reason, Andrew, thank you, Danny. It's like I let you know beforehand, and you were like waiting for this moment.
Oh, I knew he was going to say something good.
Now,
He's
here's
just
the deal.
on his computer.
So William Hurt, you know what? And by the way, no spoilers. In fact, I'm going to try to set it up so it's a little bit of a teaser. So William Hurt plays this sort of like scientist guy who has this specialized desensitization tank. You know, where you soak you float in salt water, and it's completely encapsulated, so there's no sensory. Like you're completely deprived of all sensory. But what it allows him to do, is go in, and I mean,
oh damn,
he goes in.
Damn.
And taps into something like you wouldn't. It's only William Hurt could do. So if anyone wants to see William Hurt, bring it. I mean, back when he was
bring it,
and also go primal. Here's what it is. It's at once a cerebral film, but also a very primal, visceral film.
Yeah.
Okay, and also it's sort of, to me, the way I look back at it now in my memories and certain things, it's sort of like now that we're all sort of in our own ISO. We're kind of metaphorically in our own desensitization tanks. A lot of alone time.
Yeah.
It's sort of like maybe it's now the time to do some deep diving in our own way. So, and that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to give it away too much, but boom. Here's to profound self-contemplation of a movie while in ISO. You know what I mean?
I love it. And
that's my two.
That was an incredible pick for your number 5. Such a good. I really want to see it. It's one of Sherrod's, my friend Sherrod's favorite movies, and he's,
really?
He's on the Blab. People may know Sherrod from the Blab. We just did our breakdown of an 80s movie, Caveman, last week, and that was super fun, or earlier this week. So that's another great 80s film. But Altered States is something I've wanted to see for a while, and I'm ashamed that I haven't. It sounds like it's going to be right up my alley.
Well,
right
Andrew,
up my alley.
Listen, coinkydink.
Okay.
There is a connection between Caveman and Altered States. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
Cher,
God,
you know
I got to find out what it is. I wonder,
yeah.
Danny Dobbins, can you recognize it?
I can't recognize it, but I'm going to look for it. I love Altered States. Altered States is a hidden gem. Only few have been subjected to it.
Oh, I feel like it's a staple.
Saw it. I mean, dude,
I don't know
a lot of people that I talk to have never heard of it. It's a movie that not a lot of people I know have seen, but the fact that you saw it in theaters is an incredible catch. Like that's probably like that's a moment I would have wanted to have been there for. That's
you're
great.
Lucky to have been. That's a good time for cinema.
Yeah, lucky. Oh yeah, that's a great time for cinema.
I wish you had seen the 70s too, though. But that's what we have Sherrod for.
Yeah.
He was like 10.
You know what? And I don't even know. Is Altered States, is it available like on Prime or anything? Or
I don't know if it's on. I don't know if it is.
Give it a
on
look. Give it a
any of the
look.
things right now,
as the official MovieBlab researcher, we have Danny Dobbins. His screen back in the shot.
Let's open up another tab over here and look at Altered States available.
I myself will open some tabs, and it will be IMDb. I feel like I can hear me much better this way. IMDb.
See that it is available.
I love that. That's awesome.
It is available for free on Vudu, $2.99 on YouTube,
yeah.
Google Play, and Amazon Prime.
Amazing.
Suggest watching it in a altered state.
Oh, amazing. Fantastic. That was very clever. And I think that perfectly transitions us into our Danny Dobbins number 5 pick. For those of you just tuning in while he's making this last final decisions.
What are numbers, guys?
We just talked about Altered States. Conrad's pick for his number 5th favorite movie recommendation for coronavirus, and I think it's a great one. It's one I've heard about. It's not one I've seen. In fact, Conrad's list is such deep cuts that I've only seen one on his list. I'm going to tease it that way. But I barely know what Danny's list is looking like anymore because of a lot of last-minute changes. So let's find out.
My list is ever-changing
right now from Danny Dobbins. Do you need 30 seconds on the clock?
This is why you have to remove the option of him being able to edit. That's what you got.
Oh, you threw down the hammer. You laid it down. Well, I have a confirmed enough list to where I can pick through.
Go ahead. What's your number? What's your number 5?
Let's talk about the one that I'm really digging. If it's
number 5
quarantine movies, number 5 for me, Canadian masterpiece, Heavy Metal. is an animated film
Oh.
that is so fucking cool. I discovered it last year after discovering the publication Heavy Metal, which from the 70s and 80s produced these super vivid depictions of like just medieval thrash, and they had they had comics, they had stories. A couple of noted artists. One of my favorite, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, is Frank Frazetta. He does these Frazetta. He does these super like dreamy scapes of it's not
like
heaven,
Conan
it's not
the Barbarian
hell.
kind of shit.
Yes,
Yeah, like
and
fantasy, like
fantasy stuff.
Like a dude is courting a chick, but while he's fighting this fucking two-headed like tiger serpent.
There you go, dude. Perfect example for the younger generation. If you've ever seen South Park and you've seen the episode where the kids get addicted to the cat piss, Kenny takes a ride into a heavy metal state. Guys, it's an incredible film. I don't want to give too much away about it, but it is an anthology film, so it is a bunch of different stories that are linked together by one continuous thing, and it's super, super awesome. It is graphic. It is got nudity. It's beyond. It was beyond its time, in my opinion. I think that nowadays, because we're so drawn to animation, we have so many shows on Netflix and Adult Swim, like all these great shows. I think that everybody should go back and revisit Gerald Potterton's Heavy Metal from 1981. It is a fantastic Canadian adult animated sci-fi film. You will love it, I promise.
Wow, y'all. The only I love Fritz the Cat, which is the only adult animated film I can think of from
that's one
long
really
enough
weird.
ago. That one's from the 70s. Or
really
Hey,
weird.
Danny, guess what? I saw that movie first run at the movies, 1982. It was either 81 or 82. It came out in 82, didn't it? Was it 82 or 82?
It was 80. It says 81.
81.
It says
okay,
81.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it, man.
Year. And let me tell you, that's when I first I heard, like, I used to listen to like Van Halen, Judas Priest, but this has like it's got Sammy Hagar. You know, it's a one-way ticket to midnight. Calling.
Fantastic.
And I remember, Danny, reading a movie review of it in the newspaper where it said it was an animated teenage boy's wet dream, mixed with heavy metal, and it's total fantasy. It's sort of badass, and but it's even got, you know what? It's not just heavy metal. If you look, I think Journey wrote a song like Open Arms. They used Open Arms in the movie. You know, like
it's rock. It's rock.
Will I come to you with open arms?
But then they also had fucking no bad language. They also had the Mob Rules by that other, you know.
You can use bad language. Why is everyone acting like they're warning people about like sexual content? That's fine.
But
you can say fuck. You can do it.
It's got deep.
It was 2D erotica metal, dude. You're right, man.
Yeah,
and it was a
It's crazy, dude.
The erotica part is selling me, and I love a good. I'm not a big metal listener, but I am big into the metal culture and the story of metal. So that seems really interesting.
They recently. I'm not sure as to what other bands they collaborate with, but one of my favorite Pennsylvania hardcore bands is featured in some of the newer editions of heavy metal, and they get their own comic book. Like, they have their own comic series as like this band that fronts as like a secret agent group or something like that. It's like they've achieved the maximum level of artistic. I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is. They've transcended music into Heavy Metal magazine, even though it's still going very slowly today, but still I still love Heavy Metal. I still love the magazine, the publication. I want it to come back even harder.
It seems to me that that it is inspiring poetry to come out of your mouth.
Yes, exactly.
Eloquence. The passion is there. I see it all.
He's just seen all these movies in theaters, and that's blowing my mind.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that cool?
That's so crazy.
Conrad, you're cool, man. You're cool because you've seen 80s movies in theaters. It's true.
I think we lost.
We
is he
lost
there
Con.
still?
Did we lose the Conrad? That's
Get him back
okay,
in here.
guys. Why don't you talk a little bit more about the 80s movies, Danny, while I
Joel, you want me to go to mine? Just jump to my 4?
No, just talk about 80s movies in general, bud.
80s movie. I don't think there are a lot of.
It was a hit or miss era, in my opinion.
I don't really know, man. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's goes without saying for sure. But a lot of cool things came out of the misses too, right? Like things that were misses in the 80s, like
Are
developed
great now.
over into hits. You know, like it's kind of
that's totally true.
It's kind of crazy. Like I find myself watching specifically horror movies from the 80s and finding the special effects more appealing.
All right.
Than he's back.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know
he's
what?
back.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, we hear you.
Okay, so here's the deal. I think it's because we're talking about metal. Again, I'm on my phone here, and it was like all of a sudden I got something I never got before. It said
Slap that
emergency.
camera on, though. Turn that camera on real quick. It's okay. Don't worry about it because it's time for my number 5 pick. Is the
Oh,
camera
wait,
working?
you have a 5 pick? Get
You
out.
got your camera on?
Well, hold on, Andrew. Just trying to get the.
It's all right.
this-
In the
this
meantime, I
thing.
want to tell people we got a lot of great shows coming up this week. That's right. Right here on MovieBlab, you're going to see some awesome new content, including Friday night game show night, which is awesome. And then we're doing a fave swap with Katie McDowell at some point this week. And Wednesday, I'm welcoming Kendall Powell and a surprise guest I've never met to count down our top 5 isolation movies. So it's a lot of top 5s this week, guys. So tune in and get some great movie recs because we're all just chilling. We're all just Corona and chilling.
Coronin.
We're all just
Corona.
COVID and chilling.
Danny, your heavy metal movie overheated my phone, dude. I had to put it in the freezer. Honestly, like it's
Chill, dude. Hey, when
Anyway.
you brought up Hagar, dude. You brought up Sammy.
Sammy
Dude, he
Hagar.
can still bring it. He's still got the pipes in Cabo, man.
Was he? Side note: was Sammy Hagar in Montrose or
Yes.
was that? Yes.
Yes.
I win.
Yes.
I win.
Montrose. Then he went
Bro.
solo. He's the guy who couldn't drive 55.
Montrose is, or Montrose, whatever you want to say. My dad
Sure.
showed me that band when I was a kid before
Right.
Van Halen, and I was like, "Yo, Montrose, got it, dude."
And to this day, he can still bring it. Like in isolation, he and his band, they're all in different parts of the world, but they did a cover of AC/DC's "Whole Lotta Rosie," and that fucker brought it, dude. He's like 70 years old, and he can.
The
still
80s,
get it.
man. The 80s,
Yeah.
man. The guys, the icons. Here you go, guys. The icons from the 80s are outliving icons from our generation right now.
Right.
That's crazy. Okay.
Wow.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's such a strange time for movies. It's amazing. Like so many like movies that no one would even attempt right now, sadly.
Right. All right, Andrew. What's your number 5?
My number 5 pick, guys, is Labyrinth.
Nice.
I love Labyrinth.
I bet you do.
It is definitely one of my favorite 80s movies. I love puppets. I grew up playing around with puppets and weird, creepy shit like that. So this creepy, strange, awkward, hilarious, imaginative movie is a super comfort movie for me. Like from the 80s, like big time. Right as I talk about it, I feel bad it's not higher on the list because it is so funny. And so weird, and Jennifer Connelly just is doing her best, and so is David Bowie.
Oh, the
Bowie.
Bow me. Oh, Bowies.
As you can see, he's fantastic. Yeah. So Labyrinth is definitely my pick, especially if in the future you can see it in theaters again. Like I recommend it. I went to the exhibit, Jim Henson exhibit at the Museum of the Moving Image here in.
Fantastic
Brooklyn or
museum. My
in
favorite
Queens.
museum in New York.
It's incredible. I love
museum.
it.
The Museum
that-
of the Moving Image.
Yeah,
Okay.
Moving Picture Museum. It's really a
I got to see
fantastic
Hoggle,
museum, dude.
which is one of
I
my
didn't know
favorite
that
characters.
The Jim Henson. When did you see that? Was the Jim Henson? Is it still going?
It's
The
an
Jim
ongoing.
Henson
It's like an
exhibit?
install. It's like always going from what
There's
I know.
there's a booth that you can go in there that you can dub yourself over the Wizard of Oz, and it's the most
that's
fun
cool.
thing ever.
Yes, I've done that. I think I've seen that one. I did The Simpsons, but this is my favorite character, Hoggle. Let me get a little closer for you guys.
Hoggle.
And I got to see him at the museum. He's like, I'm Hoggle. That's his voice. The voices are ridiculous, but his puppet is, in my opinion, one of the best. They were really experimenting with a lot of shit. A lot of it holds up, and a lot of it doesn't. Like on the Blu-ray, you can see all the backgrounds. You can see all the backdrops, and like it's funny to see it now. It's definitely dated, but to me, in the best of ways. So Labyrinth is gonna be my number 5 pick for my favorite coronavirus 80s movies for COVID and chillin'. Anyone have anything else they want to say about Labyrinth before we move on to Conrad's pick?
Well, in general, Andrew, honestly, okay, can I just say this personally? I have given up on all the personally. Like the Marvel movies, and just there's so much CGI that I wish they would bring back more animatronics and puppetry, just to like. To me, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school.
No,
but it's like
I agree. I like practical effects. I like practical effects. I like seeing stuff that's right there. I'm in small doses. I don't mind CGI, but it's got to be like it has to be.
Right.
You know, it's just if you don't have to use it, I prefer not to. It's the difference between Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Yeah, and also it's like when the main villain is complete CGI, it's like I'm sorry, like Thanos. I never like. It's like this purple dude snaps his fingers. And it's not that I don't appreciate the story. It's just like he's CGI. It's like they should have They could have done something with actual Josh Brolin's face and put him like in makeup or mixed him with makeup or something to make him like a real, like he's there, like you see him. You know what I mean? But they didn't. They just rendered him anyway. All right. So.
I love these side rants. They're worth it. They're what. That's why we have the word blab in our title.
That's
okay.
right.
Movie blab.
So
you know what? Here's what it is. We put the lab and blab because we're just all over the place. I mean, the beakers are spilling over. We're experimenting here. Okay, number 4. Here we go. Deep cut.
All right. Falcon. Here is wait. Here is Conrad's. We gotta hype it, Yeah. Deep cut. Conrad.
Deep cut.
What is your film for number 4 80s movies to watch during coronavirus?
Timothy Hutton, Sean Penn. The Falcon and the Snowman. Now,
Falcon and the Snowman.
All I'm going to say, Timothy Hutton plays an earnest, straight-laced, in the 80s, can we say computer scientist or programmer working on some government projects, working for a company that handles government projects and whatnot, and he discovers some stuff. Sean Penn is
is a deep cut.
They're like the odd couple of friends, but Sean Penn plays there's a reason why they're called the Falcon and the Snowman. I don't even want to give that away.
Dude, this sounds
That's the tough
awesome.
thing about top
I've
10s is they're not deep dives, so it's not like we can go into like too much detail here. Because like we don't want to spoil our favorite films.
No, these are good. He said,
but I think we should. I think we should hint at it. No, I'm not saying you're doing the wrong thing. I'm just saying it's part of the game of it to me. It's
you're
like
giving
weird.
me these gems. My dad sounds like he'll like this. I'm ready to watch this with my pops right now.
Yeah, but you know what? Again, when I saw it first run, the only time I'd seen Sean Penn before that was Fast Times at Ridgemont High, just playing surfer. Right?
Look how young he is. Yeah, it's just a little older than that.
I was just gonna ask you how far from that he had done this movie.
I want to say, and Andrew, correct me, is this 1984 or 1985?
This is 1985.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, and because I remember it was my senior year.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High was what,
1982.
Yep. So dude, this was right at. Dude, that's a crazy transition. That's a crazy route.
But
it looks like he's
great.
doing his full
Timothy Hutton, guys. Timothy Hutton. I'm not sure what I don't know if I haven't seen him lately, but he had some great movies. But anyway, I will let this teaser the kids of this generation. If you know who Snowden is, that sort of situation ties into this movie, and it's based on true as well. So
Falcon
it
and
is?
the Snowman.
yeah.
I love Sean Pence, and this seems awesome. I'd love to see more of his younger films. Are you saying that this is the film where Sean Penn really became Sean Penn and showed his full range?
I would say this. It was the first time that I noticed that, let's put it this way. It's like, wait a minute. It's that dude from Fast Times, but he's being
crazy.
But he's being like dramatic. It's a serious role. There's poignancy there. It's a harrowing like story, and he brings it, dude. Yeah, that's when it was like, oh, okay, you know.
Are you in a hammock?
What's that?
Are you in a hammock?
Am I?
That's so great. I miss my hammock. I don't have room for a hammock here. I barely have room for a green screen. Oh, that's so nice.
So, is it available, Danny? On what?
Yeah, Danny, where can we find this? I think I can see that real quick. I don't think they put that on there.
Falcon and the Snowman is available on iTunes, Vudu, Hulu with a subscription, Amazon Prime with a subscription. Gentlemen, we are watching this later on this week with my family. We'll get back to you on how it is.
I'd like to interview your whole family about it.
This is great. I haven't seen Timothy Hutton in a long time.
Yeah.
So that's a great one, Conrad. These deep cuts are blowing my mind. Yeah, you are getting me excited to watch since I've only seen one of your five favorite coronavirus 80s movies.
There you go. You got some homework after this.
I know. I'm loving it. So Danny Dobbins.
Daddy Dobbins.
I believe it is your turn to reveal.
Guys, I think it is my turn.
Favorite 1980s movie to watch during the virus.
During the virus. My favorite 1980s movie, number 4. I'm going to put 2 movies into one space because they are the only 2 movies in this franchise that are connected.
Oh.
Okay, let's see here.
Bam, bam, bam. Guys, I'm a big fan of the 1987 Hellraiser.
Oh, yes. I just recently saw this movie. It's so crazy.
Guys, if you don't know about Hellraiser, British supernational horror film writer and director Clive Barker's masterpiece from 1987 that has a second part, Hellraiser 2, and then the rest of the franchise is bullshit. Don't even watch it. Don't even look at it. Don't even, it's not even a part of Hellraiser, not until they remake it now. All of the other Hellraisers are crap. Hellraiser 1 and 2 are phenomenal.
Right.
Where do I begin?
I want to see 2.
Hellraiser 2 is my favorite because it feels like the same movie. It's just they ramped up the stuff that we wanted to see and that we liked after the first one. The first one is noted that it changed the scope of horror practical effects. One of the opening scenes, I'm not going to break it, ruin it for you guys, but one of these opening scenes, it literally changed the entire industry behind horror makeup and special effects and everything like that. It's one of those films that just broke out and blew everything up. It's fucking fantastic. The second one is great. Hellraiser is a demon who guards a box that houses the pains and pleasures of hell. Pains
Amazing.
And pleasures.
We have a comment from Sherry Patel. He says, "Can I get some likes for Phantasm 2?"
Phantasm 2. I like Phantasm 2.
But it's not making your fave list. I mean, this is top 5, but likes. Do you compare those films at all?
What, Phantasm and Hellraiser?
Yeah.
Phantasm, if I'm not mistaken, is the man, the tall man, the man in the suit, right? the guy he works as the mortician. If I think that's the right one, I think that's the Phantasm we're talking about. Sherrod, I might be completely wrong.
It's okay, but that was the first time we've ever interacted with anyone in the comments.
Phantasm is totally that. That is totally. I'm thinking of Wishmaster for a second, which is also another great one.
Oh, okay,
But
amazing.
I know a lot of horror stuff, guys. Yeah,
Respect.
it's super gruesome. I'd like to state that I am not a fan of the gore genre of horror, and as such, I do not classify this anywhere near gore, even though it has an excessive amount of blood.
Right.
Amazing.
It's definitely show blood. It's definitely 80s film blood. It's good stuff. It's good scares, kids.
Yeah,
It's good scares.
There's no
Stuff-
CGI. There is
Yeah, no CGI at all. And just the story is really good. The
Right.
lore behind Hellraiser and this box is so cool. I fell in love with it. I saw it when I was like 16, I think. I was late on just this one major 80s franchise. Definitely recommend Hellraiser 1 and 2. Don't watch the rest. Wait till they remake it on HBO.
Nice. Nice.
I think that's a great endorsement. Solid, emotional, believable. I buy it. I love the movie. It's crazy. That guy's nuts there.
We need to watch 2 together. I'll watch 2
I would
together
love to
with
watch
you.
2 with you. I need to rewatch 1 though, because I do believe I fell asleep towards the end, so I want to know.
I
what
will
happens.
rewatch 1 with you as
So
well.
I've been a little
I love
quiet.
that.
Okay, it's time. Conrad, do you mind switching your? Do you mind turning your screen, turning your phone?
Oh, like this?
Yeah, that's better. Now you look normal.
okay.
Otherwise, it stretches your face across the
He
screen.
still
Well,
looks like
but
a
you know,
circle
hey,
to me.
No, he looks
Andrew,
great.
Andrew, I've been formatted to fit your screen. Okay.
That's
We're going
true. I love that. Ooh.
Been formatted to fit your pleasures.
Let's take a look at the comments. I think someone said, I'll just say someone said, yes, and Silver Bell, but Hellraiser is total gore. I'm Facebook friends with one of the Hellraiser actors. Okay, well, good for you, Sherrod. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sherrod, I love you, but it is not gore.
There's the name
and
drop
I
sound
am
effect.
so envious of all your name drops.
The name drop sound effect.
Sherrod has a bunch of good ones, but I have a few of my own.
Boom.
Okay. Let's move to my number. I believe it's my turn, right? My number 4 pick for my favorite 80s movies to watch in lockdown. What am I going to choose, guys?
What am I going to
Will I choose? What will I search here on IMDb as my 4th pick?
What will I
It's a fun one, guys.
choose?
I picked Police Story starring Jackie Chan, 1985.
Ooh.
Incredible movie, so good. I saw it for the first time at a museum. I believe it was the MoMA or something crazy. I don't know. I don't even know. But I saw it in a museum in New York, and it was so amazing. And I've rewatched it many times since. One of 3 in the franchise. Wasn't able to get through 2, but I might try again. I love this movie. It's so fun, and the action really holds up. And it's like Jackie Chan. Like, you see why Jackie Chan became this like American hero, and like when he just transferred all this. I mean, he directed this movie. He stars in this movie. He wrote this movie. Have either of you seen Police Story?
Yes.
When was the last time you saw it?
It's been a minute, but that's when you really like. I saw like Drunken Master and all that. It's been a minute, but just to your point, he does all his stunts. The stunt, like what he does is it's like, what are you doing? But he pulls it off. He's like Charlie Chaplin meets Bruce Lee. I mean, meets Buster Keaton.
Yes.
Yeah, in other words,
so
it's
much
like
great slapstick in this
Yes.
movie. Oh my God! It reminds
Martial arts
me.
slapstick. Yeah.
Yeah, it made that film Kung Fu Hustle, which I also like, and made it feel less original because they just added effects to like what Jackie Chan was doing in camera. But there are incredibly epic sequences in this film, and his character is just so Jackie Chan, so confident. I enjoy this movie more than a Chuck Norris movie. Jackie Chan is like this. He's just a legend, and so this is some of his best, most inspired work. I think you get the sense that he literally killed himself trying to make this movie. Like, it was just so much work, and on such a scale. I mean, that mall scene at the end is one of the best final scenes I've ever seen in an action film.
Where he comes down the lights.
Yes.
And Andrew, here we go. Going back to my middle school thing, because a lot of boys and girls have expressed the idea. Like, I let them know that there's other jobs besides acting in the whole film, in theater, and one of them was stunt. And we watched a super compilation of all his stunts, like his top 10 Jackie Chan stunts from all his movies, and they were like, they were like respect. It's like, you know what I mean? In other words, it's like, forget Jean-Claude Van Damme. Think of
How's that
any martial
that's
artist.
not a name drop.
I'm just kidding, but forget Claude Van Damme. Sorry.
Yeah, in other words, to me, man, if I had to tell, if someone's like, it's quarantine, I'm in ISO, which martial artist movie star should I really get to know? It would be Jackie Chan.
Yes.
Like, or anybody, you know what I mean?
I totally agree. He's got a charisma that I don't see from a lot of other action stars.
Right.
And so there's so many posters for this film. It has a bunch of different names too. It's gone through a whole thing. I think it's called Jackie Chan's Police Story now. But anyway, check that one out, guys. It's a fun one. It'll totally take your mind off all this shit. And it's so 80s. The score, but it's not. It's timeless in its own way. Like, it's not like trying to capture like a bunch of pop culture or something. But it just to see to see his country like in that time period in the 80s, it's very interesting to me. I don't know. I loved it. Yeah. Such a fun movie, nonstop, never boring, incredible.
Right.
Right.
He, people, to me, he's just a consummate entertainer. And can we add?
Yes.
He's a good actor. He's a great actor.
Oh yeah.
He is a good
Rush
actor.
Hour 1, 2, 3.
And a great comedian.
Right.
His comedic instincts shine in this movie. I mean, I think it's an action comedy. I mean, I would have to say it is. I mean, because of it's so funny. And the characters are wacky, and even the little characters are memorable and funny, and it's like lots of relief of tension and then back to the action, and it's just got all the feels that you're looking for in a dope action 80s movie.
And Andrew, he's sort of the antithesis to the iconic 80s action movie, Arnold, right? Arnold was this big bodybuilder, like I'll be back, Sarah Connor, come with me if you want to live, but and all that shit. And Jackie Chan is like super agile and lithe and kinetic, you know what I mean? So he's not just, it's not that he's a musclehead. It's like everything that he does and his stunts and his athleticism and all that, to me, it's like it's the perfect. He was the perfect antithesis to the typical American kind of bulked up hero. You know what I mean? Like action star. Anyway,
totally.
Yeah,
he's great. American hero, world international hero, to all.
God bless you, Jackie Chan.
God bless you,
That's
Jackie
right.
Chan. Stay well. Stay home.
Right.
I love these moments. Okay, Danny Dobbins. That was great, Conrad. Conrad, you go. You're next. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, speaking of athleticism, I'm going to go with, again, these are deep cuts, Matthew Modine. And when's the last time you heard this actress's name? Linda Fiorentino in Vision Quest.
Vision Quest.
Matthew Modine plays a high school wrestler in Spokane, Washington, and he's trying to cut weight because he wants to wrestle in a lower weight class. And then it goes from there, but he also meets Linda Fiorentino plays this unlikely kind of love interest. And it's just kind of coming of age. And also, it's in the context, if I remember right, he lives just like with his dad, or the home's a little broken. So it's more than just wrestling. It's him trying to find himself. And just shots of like when's the last time you saw a young Matthew Modine just trying to make sense of the world and stick to a goal? You know what I mean? And it's got a great original Journey song, Only the Young Can Say, which is like the theme song of the movie. which is awesome. So
it's got to have Journey in it. I did want to. You know what I wanted to put on here was Last American Virgin. Do you remember that movie?
The Last American. Was that a true 80s or an 80s-esque movie?
That was true 80s. True okay. 80s. True 80s. Really, really interesting by Boaz Davidson. Anyway.
Yeah.
Boaz Davidson.
I think is his name.
I'm trying to pull up something on Vision Quest because it sounds super familiar, but I can't.
I got it on IMDb here. Madonna's in it.
Yes. Oh, because let's see here. That's right. There's a she. Are you sure? I know her song is in it. Get Into the Groove, I think.
Can you see my screen or no?
No, they slow dance. Crazy for you or something like that. I don't know.
I love all the singing.
Anyway,
we have a comment from the audience. Let's see. It says, "I'm incredible editing," says Sherrod, and that the movie has a sad ending.
Yeah, and Andrew, to Sherrod's point, everyone thinks, okay, one might tend to think that the 80s was rah, Top Gun, all those USA, all those iconic big movies, Rambo, and all that. But here's a sports movie, right?
Yeah.
That I remember there was a melancholy tone to it. You know, it was complicated, and so here it's a movie that was made in the 80s, but it had more of a feel of a 70s movie. You know what I mean? And that way, where it took time to develop the characters, and there were subplots, and things were complicated. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
The comments are getting pretty angry. I was not talking about The Last American Virgin. I was talking about the movie. I'm pretty sure she's in Vision Quest, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? Madonna's in Vision Quest?
I don't know. I mean, I don't remember.
Okay, I see a picture of her it says Madonna in Vision Quest, 1985.
Yeah, well, then
she was ruining movies back in 1985.
Look how young she is.
Yeah. If the internet says it, it's got to be.
It's the Madonna. It's the Madonna. We aren't gonna argue with the internet on this. No
That's
way.
right.
The internet says it.
Oh, and Andrew, at that time, guess what? She was dating, and bring it back to another movie to Falcon and the Snowman. She and Sean Penn were hot and heavy back in 1985. Man, they were like
really?
Yeah. They were told. Look it up. Sean Penn, Madonna, back in the 80s. I think they were married, if not boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, look it up, seriously.
I guess there's some music video for a song that used clips from the movie, one of those classic.
Right. And the song, is it Get Into the Groove or Crazy for You? Which one is it?
I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll apparently Madonna is not a Vision Quest, people are saying, but I'm seeing a literal picture of her.
Okay.
Allow me to show this. I'm going to show you a literal picture of her right here. This is Madonna in Vision Quest 1985.
But see, Andrew, because I think one of her songs was used in the movie. And see, I'm not using internet. I'm using Conrad Net, which is kind of fucked.
We're using the real 80s.
What's the speed on that one?
Let me tell you.
Sounds like 5G to me, bud.
Yeah, five gerbils running in a wheel. You know what I mean?
Richard Gere.
Oh, yeah. Officer and a Gentleman. That's another great 80s movie, but we're not going to go there yet.
Yeah, let's get to it, though. It's now time for Danny Dobbins.
Yanny
Dobbins, or also known as Daddy Dobbins. That was great, Conrad. Anything else you wanted to mention about Vision Quest?
No, that's about it. It's,
seems
again,
great. I
for everyone's consideration.
I love it.
I'm going to put all these movies that Conrad's suggesting on his list because they sound incredible.
I mean, it would just take a day to watch all 5. I think everyone should do it. I think everyone should watch all of Conrad's movies because before any of ours, because he is the actual aficionado on 80s films.
I second that. I'm watching all of Conrad's movies before I watch. Actually, I am watching the Jackie Chan one too. I'm definitely going to do that one because that one sounds good.
Super fun.
But my 80s movie, and guys.
Oh, wait. Yeah, tease it out.
This comedy duo put a lot of movies out in the 80s. It's hard to put your finger on which one is your favorite, but a majority of them happened in the 80s, and my favorite is Cheech and Chong's next movie.
Absolutely.
You aren't quoting anything from the movie.
I'll have another joint, man.
Oh man.
Cheech and Chong's next movie, they live in a house in Los Angeles. Cheech loses his job and has to go to the welfare center. And it is super funny. Not that part, but just the thing in general.
Do you remember the base? So the sort of
So the plot is in this. There's no real plot. The plots in the Cheech and Chong movies are very loose. It's just skits that they have and actors that they have that come in and add to these little things. It's improv sketches, basically. Paul Rubens is in this one.
Oh, wow.
I believe my college professor, Stacy Keach, reprises his role as the police chief. Drop it. There you go. But this one, the one that singles this one out, the one that should ring some bells and peoples, is the one where they have the crazy next door neighbor who they torment with their rock and roll music, and Chong has a motorcycle in the front in the living room that he revs in a stationary position that goes straight outside to kill his neighbor's flowers. He plays an out-of-tune guitar at super loud volumes. It's a great Cheech and Chong movie. It's one of my favorites.
That's awesome.
Cheech and Chong's next movie. All of them are great, honestly. There's so many, guys. I mean,
I like their CDs.
Yeah.
Right.
CDs
Records
nuts.
are great, too.
Yeah, they had comedy albums. That's right.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is like they're predominantly a '70s group, but all their movies were made in the '80s when they got their success off of radio and record deals and stuff like that. So
Very cool.
there's a lot of movies. They did about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 or 8 movies in the '80s until
Cranked
they
them out,
split
dude.
up as a duo in the '90s to do their own versions of Cheech and Chong movies, solo.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Born in East LA, and we got
The Bruce Springsteen song. Born in East LA.
yeah, that's right. Good
Oh
one.
man.
I love Cheech and Chong. They're my favorite duo. Two of my favorite comedy. It's my favorite comedy duo, probably. Cheech and Chong.
I remember seeing Up in Smoke at the
Oh.
movies. What year did that come out?
That one, it says 79 on that one.
Holy shit. Okay.
That's
yeah,
their
man.
first one.
Okay.
I did not to and cheat and name an extra movie, but I almost picked After Hours as one of my '80s picks. The Scorsese film, and Cheech and Chong are in that. And if you haven't seen After Hours, it is an incredible movie.
That's that's with Griffin Dunn and
Yep.
Oh God, Terry
Yep.
Garr's in it. Right?
Yep.
Terry Gar's in it?
It's a great
Okay,
ensemble
hold on.
cast.
Again, I'm using only Conrad net and memory because I saw it first run. Hold on.
I'm just keeping your energy going, and then people can get mad in the comments.
Patricia Arquette, is she in it?
Oh God,
Yeah,
she is
I wanna
so
say yes.
flip flapping hot still.
But
just wanted to say that.
maybe we'll
And-
dive into that. I'm going to make that one of my honorable mentions, and we can dive
Yeah,
into it because
yeah.
it's such a good one. Okay, not to spoil, but my choice for my third movie is, you can see it on the screen already, so it's not that intense, but it is Santa Sangre. Have you guys seen Holy Blood by Alejandro Jodorowsky?
You're just naming film school films now, huh?
This is far from a film school film, my friend. This is an incredible movie. I think it's made in. I don't want to sound dumb about it. It's just so trippy that it's even hard to say. Where I think it is set in. I want to say it's set in Spain.
Where?
Here in this like crazy circus world. And it's by the director of Holy Mountain. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Oh, okay.
And it is one of my favorite movies to watch. There's something new in it every time. It is
What's
such
it called?
a complex. It is called Santa Sangre. So Santa
Santa.
space
Oh,
Sangre.
Sangre. That's
Yes.
Holy Blood. Yes, I have seen it. I have
Yes.
See, here
What-
it is, Andrew. I can't see any of the posters or whatever, so I
Oh,
just go
okay,
into pronunciation. Yes, you're right, dude. I saw that. That is trippy. That is, it's trippy. It's sad. It's surreal. I remember. Anyway, I'll let you talk about it. But holy cow!
No. I mean, yeah. This is it's a deep cut of the '80s for a top 10 '80s movie, but
It was filmed
I
in
love
Mexico and Italy, my friend.
Mexico and Italy. I'm sorry. It is in Spanish, obviously, and it is such an epic movie on such an epic scale. It is a feat of filmmaking, in my opinion. The amount of extras, the real shit that they're shooting, it is an epic tale of this kid here who grows up and is in love with his mother, and it is about life and existence and trauma and all kinds of heartbreak and love and all these things. And it's one of those movies that just spoke deep to me.
Look at it. God,
yeah. And it's gorgeous. Yeah.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
So definitely check out Santa Sangre. Another good one. Another good one to be a little lit for.
Yeah. No,
A little lit.
In whatever form of lit you enjoy. Okay, so love that movie. Yeah, there we go. I mean, the shots are, and the real animals and shit. I mean, it's crazy. I can't stop. But okay, guys. So we have gotten to sadly, we only have 2 picks left. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break to tease this out for a second, and then we're going to get back and we're going to finish our top 5 each. Top 5 times 3 favorite 80s movies to watch during coronavirus. Oh my god, coronavirus. That's how she says it, right? Is that how she says it?
Coronavirus.
Do you know who I'm referencing? Cardi B. But anyway, we're not worried about Cardi B. Coronavirus! That's right. We're not worried about Cardi B right now. We're worried about the 80s. A simpler time, guys.
80s.
Any time is simpler. But we're having a lot of fun. I'm here with Conrad and Daddy Dobbins.
Baby
and
with the
we are learning a lot from each other about movies, gems from the 80s landscape of film. So stick with us. We're going to be back very, very soon. It's going to be just a quickie breaky. And in the meantime, I'm going to get some more iced tea and
get some more iced tea.
That's right.
And make a one little decision about my list. Let's see here.
That's right.
How I can take us away. I'm going to take you away to another place that you've never been. It's called my Patreon ad. There it is, baby.
We only have 2 movies
That's right, guys. This is my ad for Patreon. Oh my god. We love you so much and you love us so much, so why don't we help each other out? We'll keep giving you great, awesome movie blabby content. And you just make a small donation, a monthly donation to help support the show. It does cost a little bit to make the show, and by a little bit, I mean a couple monthly subscriptions that I can't afford. So please, if you want to support MovieBlab, give us $1 to $2 to $3 a month. There are obviously bigger issues out there, but we could really use the help as well. So if you can afford it, if you're willing, please support the show. If not, no hard feelings. We love you anyway. It's not a big deal. We will see you back in just a second for our number 2 and our number 1 picks for the top 80s movies to watch during coronavirus. See you real soon, guys.
Hey kids, if you're watching, shut the hell up on 19.
There we go. Hey, Andrew, how much time we got?
Oh, this guy. Andrew left.
Oh, did he? Okay. Well, imagine we got like 5 minutes or whatever. I'm going to go powder my nose.
Go powder your nose. I'm going to go get some water.
There you go.
never get rid of me. On my worst days, you can never get rid of me. Yeah. Hold up. Hey, if you wanna test me, you can get it. Got no time for the gimmicks. I ain't gonna play with you. I'm a beast in the game. Gonna remember my name. I can never be tamed. We are not the same. The trippy and drip off my chain. You know I'ma make your head bang. I do it for my hometown, DC, Northeast. Will them gorillas be? Do you think that you're ready for me? Cause I know that I'm ready for you. You can never. You can never. You can never.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Do you think that you're ready for me?
Oh yeah, I'm about to get back in that mode. Here we go.
Man, y'all ain't ready for it.
Hey guys, so I want to recommend a movie that I think is criminally underseen.
Okay. I'm sorry, no one could hear me before that. I just wanted to re-say we're back, and this is Intern Corner. This is Intern Corner with Alex Kahn, okay? He's here. He's got a lot of unique perspectives, including opinions that you've never even heard or thought of before. So here he is, Alex Kahn. It's Intern Corner. Alex, what do you got for us?
So I want to recommend a movie that I think is criminally underseen.
Is it from the 80s?
No, it's not from the 80s.
That's very interesting that you wouldn't do that.
Because
he throws a curveball. I love it.
He's
so
throwing
yeah,
curves.
I just didn't. I'm a rebel, so.
Okay, go ahead, Rebel.
So yeah, So has anyone ever seen the documentary Tickled?
Yes, I've seen that film.
Yes.
I'm a
I
fan.
think it's honestly criminally underseen. I've mentioned it to friends. No one has seen Tickled. I
Really?
think it's freaking brilliant.
What do you say
It's
to
a
them when you
movie
recommend
literally
it?
about tickling, and is at first satirical, and then it's suspenseful, and then it's really, really fucking sad. And the storytelling behind it,
Yeah, but what is it about?
it's about a.
Because that's the problem you're running into. You have to tell your friends what it's actually about, and what it's about does not sound appealing.
It's about a journalist
But it's a great movie.
who investigates this mysterious woman who is releasing these crazy tickling videos.
Yes, that's good. That's true. That's a good pitch. And it is a crazy true story. It is insane.
And
it
it's
is a good
freaking
movie.
insane. And
Yep.
it doesn't just feel like a documentary. It feels like a movie. And I feel like a lot of documentaries just have that documentary feel, which Tickle just doesn't have. And it's crazy suspenseful.
All right, guys, that was Intern Corner. That's right, Intern Corner with Alex Kahn. So thank you, Alex, for another great corner. We've got to get to the rest of our list, so we will see Alex Kahn next time on MovieBlab, everyone's favorite segment, Intern Corner. Woo! Maybe because it's the shortest one. Okay, go away now. Okay. All right. I loved leaving him frozen there, but I won't. Okay, so we're back. What did y'all think of that Intern Corner?
I like how I think it should be called the Alex Intern Connection to great movies. That's
Ooh, yeah, that was a really solid one. I wanted to cut it before while he was still ahead.
right. Right.
I wanted that's the
I'm just tickled pink by his movie suggestion. That's all I can say. Hey Andrew, speaking of bad word plays, and let me know if it's too soon. But we're talking about movies and suggestions, but really we can't go to the movie. What we're doing is watching videos, right, on different platforms. So maybe we can call it recommended top 5 co-videos. I don't know.
I would love to have a branding meeting with you and a PR meeting. Yeah, I'd love to figure out.
MovieBlab co-video recommendations. Anyway.
I do need help with this. If you are a marketing expert and you want to give me any advice for how I should better promote MovieBlab, I'd love to hear it. So that's what.
There you go.
Okay. Let's get to it, guys. We are talking back to the 80s, MovieBlab, top 5 80s, movie recs for quarantine. And we're starting with Conrad Gonzalez with, I'm sure, another incredible choice. Conrad, what do you have as your pick for number 2 favorite 80s movie?
Yes. When's the last time you heard these 3 names said in the same sentence? Mickey Rooney.
Oh, I love Mickey Rooney.
Lisa Bonet.
Okay, Lisa Bonet.
And Robert De Niro.
The man himself?
Angel Heart.
Angel Heart. Wow.
The name of the movie is Angel. Now, let me tell you what it is. First, you think it's just your typical genre movie of like a film noir, like
film noir.
Like I was gonna say this. What's it? I just said his name, but I forget. Mickey Rourke. He plays a private dick, right? Investigating something, and but then let's just say another genre enters into the situation, and it goes from there.
Did I just see Kiefer?
What's that?
Did I just see Kiefer Sutherland too? Or no?
No,
maybe I'm wrong.
Know. Let's see here. For sure, it's Mickey Rourke. There. And by the way, this is pre-plastic surgery. Look at him. He's young.
Oh, man. God, this looks amazing. This is probably one I'm most intrigued by of your whole list, and that's a lot of great movies.
Yeah, and it's got the flavor of New Orleans and Louisiana, and let me tell you, it's a good blend of a lot of different genres, and actually 2 main genres, I would say. I don't want to give too much away, but it's one of those where, okay, here you go. Yeah, there's a twist, right? There's a twist, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
But
everyone loves a twist.
Oh yeah, and her. Remember that actress right there? We just saw her, newly remastered. I haven't seen it. God, it's really making some big claims, like more mysterious than Seven and The Sixth Sense. It's like that. It's like those movies in that there's a big there can be a big twist.
I love it.
But Mickey Rourke, and I can't even tell you too much about Robert De Niro or really even Lisa Bonet, except just if you want to get a good film noir kind of noir.
I love the way you say film noir.
Yeah, and look at these great character actors who have since passed away, like that guy. God, I don't even know his name, but we used to see him in movies all the time. Anyway, Angel Heart.
Wow, it looks awesome. Yeah. Very cool. I will check that one out. That's going to be the first one I look at so far. I don't know what your number 1 pick is, but I'm ready to hear Danny Dobbins' number 2 pick, unless anyone has anything else to say about what is it called? Angel Heart. That's right. I saw something else and I was just like reading the title. Okay, then let's get to it. Danny, what you got? Hello?
Uh-oh.
Oh, God, he froze at the worst time. That's okay, though. We'll find him. Danny, we miss you.
Maybe that's his way of saying it's Frozen, the movie, which is not an 80s movie, but,
It seems like he's technically still in the call. He's just frozen out. Let's see. I'm going to drop you guys. Let's see if I can get them back on the show, guys. It's going to be super fun. Yeah, we're getting the guests back on the show. It's going to be really great, and it's not going to take long. Hopefully I can do it, and it's super easy, but I'm not sure what's going on with his connection. Let's see if I can connect with Danny. Danny isn't online, that's not good. Well, let's keep it going and just add Conrad. That's okay, we'll just add Conrad. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that song. Let's see what can be done about this disaster. Oh, now I can't get anyone to call. I'm just stuck on the air all by myself. This is so awkward, guys. Not really. I'll talk about 80s movies while I try to figure this shit out. So I talked about Labyrinth. That was sort of my first, like, oh, this is what an 80s movie is. And obviously I kind of went through some other ones. We got a comment from Ash. Let me see what Ash said. He said, love Stacy Keach 20 minutes ago. No, that's David Sexton. Ash says, hi, guys. Hey, Ash, what's going on? Sherrod has seen Tickled, and Alex Kahn says Rosanna Arquette was in After Hours. So for those of you who need to catch up on that, that is what the crowd is saying. There's a lot of people out there making comments, and it's great to see this level of interaction. Anyone wants to say, oh, we got 20 comments. Look at all these. Well, I can't get my guests online. I'm getting no answer from any of them. It's really interesting. It's okay. I have Morgan Freeman to talk to you guys in the meantime.
Which way to cross Cuckoo Land?
Head for the big bright thing in the sky.
You're in the sun?
Yeah, that's it.
Let's get out of here.
Ever since I was a little boy, people have enjoyed the sound of my voice. And I figured you either get busy talking or you get busy dying. The work is really quite easy. Why, even right now, I'm just sitting in a chair, sipping some tea and reading from a script. The wall is covered with something that resembles egg crates, except they're soft and spongy. Like a Twinkie. Like a Twinkie.
When I was 17 years old, I could throw a baseball 90 miles an hour. When I was 17 years old, I could throw a baseball 90 miles an hour.
Apparently, Skype kicked him out. This sucks because everyone wants to know. Everyone wants to know who is the pick. So what does that mean? I got no guests. I got no Danny. Let's see if Sherrod Patel will pick up. No kidding. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to take a break and figure this shit out. I don't know what to tell you. I'll read more comments, but that's all I can really do over here. Skype kicked Conrad out. I don't understand what that even means. We got a comment from Ash. Let's take a look. The comment is, or you get busy dying. On it. Let's see what Conrad is able to do. Or maybe I have to cut the show. I don't know their picks either. I can't tell you guys. Skype him back. Yeah, I've been Skyping him back, buddy. Let's see. I'm glad everyone's here to support me during this time. Thank you. It's rough. But I think it's fun to watch the show fall apart for a minute. I'm enjoying it. Nope, no answer. He doesn't exist anymore. I don't know what getting kicked out of Skype means. I have other ways, I guess, I could try of making this work, but this doesn't seem like the time nor the place. But perhaps I can save the day here. Let's see. No, this isn't going to work. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a break and contact these people and see if I can give them a little technical service. Oh, Conrad started a call. There he is. Join the call. Oh, my God, just in time. I think we're back. OMG. Hello, everybody. There's Conrad. I found Conrad. That's awesome.
Hey, am I back?
Yeah, you're back. Now I'm just trying to get Danny Dobbins back. That's it. I'm going to add him to the call and hope for the best. And I'm going to...
Yes.
Yeah. So let's get back to the show. Danny is still unavailable. I don't know what to say about Danny, but maybe I'll let him call in on the phone. Is it Danny's turn?
I think it is, because I went with Angel Heart right at number 2. So
Okay.
maybe you can go with yours, and then we'll.
Yeah, let's get yeah. I'll get to mine. I'll get to mine. I'll get to my number 1. Okay. Well, I'd love to have Danny, but it's all right. So my pick for my favorite. This is my number 2, right?
Number 2, yep.
Oh, let me reorient myself. Oh,
Oh, there he is.
yes, we're there. We're on. Yay! Oh my God, we did it, guys. We really did it. It feels great to be back with all of you. What a relief. Because it was a great
Andrew-
episode so far.
Andrew did your number 2 for you while you were gone. I know that
No,
sounds
I
funny.
did number.
let me
I did
correct
number
him.
2.
It's
I did
not
number
whatever
2.
he said.
I did number 2.
He
What'd
did.
you say?
No, I did number 2. I
Oh,
didn't say a number 2.
no,
I
he
did
literally
number 2.
did number 2.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. He literally.
word.
Like, yeah.
Literally.
All right, guys, let's get.
Where is
Let's,
it? How many? What's up?
we're all back together, a happy family, and it's time for Danny Dobbins to reveal his number 2 pick for favorite 80s movies to watch during coronavirus.
His number 2 pick, guys.
Danny Dobbins, give it to us. We've been waiting for it.
A lot of movies in the 80s, a lot of good trilogies. I've already gone over a franchise that I love. Let me go over one flip-flapping more. Indiana Jones.
Oh my gosh, a crowd pleaser.
It shouldn't even have been said, because if you haven't seen Indiana Jones by now, you don't have a TV. And you
don't
probably
have a
won't be getting
TV.
one or a screen or anything, and it's okay. But just know there are 3 films that were made in the 1980s that are top notch, and
directed
not
by
really
Steven
gonna tell
Spielberg.
You guys about these movies as much as I'm going to tell you about what they almost were.
Oh, this is an interesting take.
Yes.
All right, let's get a little closer in for this one.
George Lucas and Steven Spielberg were coming off of their hot releases in the summer of 1981. George Lucas, Star Wars, Steven Spielberg, something that he had already done, who gives a shit. And they were on a beach in Hawaii, and they were like, hey, let's do this mystery, adventure, heroic, handsome man franchise. And George Lucas was like, okay, but it's got to be about ghosts. And Steven Spielberg was like, no, let's not do it about ghosts. And then George Lucas was like, no, here's 2 ghost scripts. We got to do them about ghosts. And Steven Spielberg was like, no, don't worry, I've got 3 of them already written, which he was fucking lying. He didn't.
Wow.
He didn't have 3 of them written. And the second one, it didn't do so well. If you remember correctly, Conrad, the second one was all about juju, and it misrepresented Indian culture, and it was a mess.
Yeah. Well, the first one hit it out of the park. I mean,
The first one was absolute gold, but the second one to audiences around the world was a little bit too weird. That's why they brought in Mr. Sean Connery to do the rest. But Indiana Jones almost went to Hitler's haunted castle and defeated ghosts in 2 of George Lucas's scripts for Indiana Jones.
Wow.
So,
well, crisis averted, right? I mean,
crisis averted, guys. We only got one crappy Indiana Jones movie that came several years later. Go watch the 4th one too after you're done. It was made in 1980 or 2008. But
wait a minute, are you talking when Shia LaBeouf plays his son?
Yeah, 2008.
And was it Kate Blanchett who's like, the nemesis or what? I don't know.
And he survives a nuclear blast in a refrigerator.
That's right. Yeah.
But all 3 of those movies, my favorite being Indiana Jones and Indiana Jones and not the Last Crusade. Which one's the 3rd one? Why can't I think of it right now? Indiana Jones. My God. Oh yeah, no, it's the Last Crusade, the one with Sean Connery, because it was one of River Phoenix's last appearances in film.
Oh wow.
He plays young Indiana Jones.
Wow. Speaking of ghosts,
we do have an Indian person in the comments who doesn't, who says, "Who's talking about Indian culture up in here?"
Indiana Jones was a terrible movie when it was. They were doing a lot of things that seemed to be pretty insulting but that's from what I've read. Those were the 2 reviews that came out in 1984.
I mentioned in the comments that Danny loves Ghost, and some people are wondering if you've seen Ghost.
I have seen Ghost.
Yeah.
And
Every night.
Someone pointed out that Ghost made all the women get a short haircut that year. Someone from the 80s.
And
Do you remember
take up
that, Conrad?
playmaking.
What's that? Do you remember that? What did they take up?
Oh, they take the movie Ghost?
Ghost,
Yes.
with Patrick Swayze.
Oh, I thought they were asking me if I've seen Ghosts.
Like physically seen a ghost?
If I see Ghosts, I was like, yeah, interesting attack.
Hold on,
That's why I
Andrew.
said you love Ghost in the comments to spark a great.
Hold on. If memory serves me right, look up Ghost. Was it 1990?
I'm pretty sure.
No, it definitely doesn't count as an 80s movie, but
Yeah.
we're trying to. I'm learning to interact with the crowd without letting them bring the show down.
Yeah, we'll let it slide. We'll let it slide. I mean, it did have an 80s feel more than a 90s. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll give you that. But yeah, short haircuts and take up pottery. You know, like playmaking or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, I think I think that about covers it. Let's move on to my number 1? No, my number 2 pick, right? Yeah.
Right.
All right, guys. My number 2 pick. Sorry, it's been so strange. Is the Last American? An American Werewolf in London.
Oh,
I love this movie. People think it's I think some people think it's the 70s movie because it's so early and it's in the 80s, but it is an amazing, hilarious werewolf movie. The best werewolf movie in my opinion. The best, okay, the best one. But I Frank Oz is wait, no.
Another great example of just phenomenal practical effects in American Werewolf in London. That transformation is fucking crazy.
I think it's crazy. I just realized Frank Oz is in this.
Growing, the hands growing.
Yes. Oh God, the transformations are amazing.
Yeah, I've
and the
seen
effects
the behind the scenes sets of that, and that shit's crazy, dude.
The performances are hilarious. The script is just like jam packed with great, like it's just horror comedy. I think is so hard to do, and they seem to just nail it. And
speaking of Nazis, doesn't he have there's a great nightmare involving Nazis within the American Werewolf in London, if I remember right.
Are your headphones still working, Danny?
I'm charging my phone for a tiny bit. They'll be back on in a second.
Okay, can you mute yourself when you're not talking at least? Okay, great. Sorry, what were you saying, Conrad?
Well, and also it involves, if I remember right, there's a nightmare that he has involving like werewolf Nazis or something like that. Right?
I'm trying to remember. I
think so.
Nazis?
Dude. It was like so trippy.
There's some trippy stuff in there. I don't know if there's any Nazi stuff, but maybe someone in the comments can tell us. But there's a great one of my favorite sex scenes to Moondance. It's a marvelous night for a moon dance.
And
they
of course,
take a shower together. It's very sexy.
Werewolves of London, man.
It's a damn good one. So I definitely recommend this one. It's really one of my favorite movies and one of my favorite comedies of all time. And I didn't get to name it in our previous episode with Conrad, our top 5 fave comedies. But I'm glad to have it on this list now, and you won't regret it. It's only an hour and 37 minutes, and it is the perfect horror comedy. Hard to find, hard to do well, and they did it. They really did it.
And Andrew, there was
there are Nazi werewolf demons in a dream. That's from the comments.
That's what I remember. Yeah. And you know what? I think that same year, there was almost like a knockoff, not a knockoff movie like stealing the idea and the plot, but using the same technology. It was called The Howling, and it was another werewolf movie. Slim Pickens plays the sheriff of a small town. One of his last roles, if you remember who he is. Oh my God! And you know what? It tried to play like a horror kind of thing, but yet he was eating like Wolf Brand chili. You know what I mean? It's like everyone. So
The Howling is great. Sharon showed me that movie, and it's a great 80s movie.
Oh,
Werewolves were the thing. It's a bit more dated. I would say Last American, An American Werewolf in London is to me like a timeless comedy,
Yeah,
and a timeless movie. But the Howling came out actually before. We're getting fact checked left and right. The Howling came out before An American Werewolf in London.
Oh, but
Howling did it first.
I think they used the same technology. It was the first time that I remember seeing like snouts expand, like in a movie, like snouts growing.
Are those both Rick Baker? I'm wondering.
Fingers growing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was the same. It was sort of like you can tell when that technology became available because I remember it just being back to back, and I knew what they were close. And it's interesting that the Howling came out first. Okay, that's interesting because I remember American Werewolf and then Howling, but you know.
Yeah, I think true 80s werewolf purists consider The Howling to have kind of gotten in there first.
Yeah, sure. Well, they technically they're right. Yeah.
But I guess the movie I'm really trying to recommend here is The Last American Were-Virgin. So.
Were-Virgin, yes. Yes, it's the cross that they made.
Wow.
Sounds like you're saying Last American Air Virgin.
I love how dry that one is. Just like, whoa, that's not a. But anyway, that's my number 2, and that brings us to our number 1 pick. Oh my God, what a journey it has been, guys, to find out what all of our top 5 Corona 80s recommendations are. To watch a movie. Kick back with an 80s film to comfort you during your lockdown. And it is time to finally reveal Conrad Gonzalez's number 1 pick in his top 5 list. Conrad, what have you chosen?
Well, Andrew, this movie takes place in your neck of the woods, Brooklyn, and you know it's sort of like this. In these times where there seems to be a lot of strife and a lot of division, I think that the comfort that people can find in this movie is the idea that we think we're living in some sort of unprecedented, singular moment in history. Certain themes repeat, right? And so I'm going to go with Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee.
Oh, great movie.
If I remember, it starts off the title sequences, right? Fight the Power Is at B by NWA.
Oh, which we need to do.
Yeah, and the character who has the big speakers, he's walking around. He's got the tattoo on he's got love tattooed on one hand knuckle, on one hand, and then hate on the other, just like Robert Mitchum in the it was as paying homage to like Robert Mitchum. We played that kind of killer preacher dude in this one. Anyway, so it's like, without giving too much away, it involves racial relations, it involves neighborhoods, it involves gentrification, it involves, back in the 80s, it was touching on all this, and in the end, it involves community. And I loved how he, even though it was tackling a lot of heavy subjects, he had a chorus. He had a chorus of these 3 old African-American dudes that are always sitting off playing dominoes, and they'd be commenting on the situation, right? And if nothing else, a very young and, to be like, not too well known back then, Samuel L. Jackson playing the DJ, right?
Oh, nice.
And he would always sign off, and that's the quintessential truth.
Oh, yes, I remember that part. God, it's been a long time
Yeah.
since I've seen this movie, but I do like it a lot. And Spike Lee, no matter what you think of the movies he makes, they're all relevant as hell.
Right. And there's touching moments. I mean, yeah, there's some parts we can be heavy-handed, and also it's a great, a great character actor, Italian-American guy. He has since passed, who plays Sal. It revolves all around this one pizza place named Sal, and they're always asking, like, why you only got pictures of Italians? You know what I mean? Versus like other, like
That's
like
Danny.
That's
Danny Aiello.
Yes. Now, did he pass away? I think he passed away.
Yes, he passed away in 2019.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
So anyway, In these kind of cuckoo crazy times, just know that we still, I mean, there's a lot of things we can't control, right?
Yes.
But I love that, just the name of the movie, Do the Right Thing. In other words, what can we do daily? We can make life-giving choices. We can make choices to reach out to people in appropriate ways and stuff like that. So it's just, as far as the 80s go, man, it for me, it was, I'm trying to think if there was another movie that kind of bookended that decade.
Yeah.
Like on such a socio-political, level, and also was cinematic and had some humor and some levity. So anyway, that's my 2 cents as far as that goes.
Conrad, that is a fantastic pick. That was Conrad's number 1 pick in the top 5 coronavirus 80s recommendations. That's right. We're doing our top 5 each favorite coronavirus 80s movies to watch while you COVID and chillin'. So now we're going to get to another butt clencher. That's right. It's Danny Dobbins' pick.
Butt clencher.
He's got a great shot for us of the number two 80s movie. So what do you got for us, Danny Dobbins? Your number 2 pick, please.
Number 2. Throwing out a lot of franchises today. Throwing out a lot of three-parters. I'm going to go with 1. Stand By Me.
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me. Maybe not a commentary on anything, but just
doesn't always have to be.
Down old, weird story about group of friends going on a trip to find a dead body. Who couldn't love it? It's got Kiefer. Kiefer's in it.
I do love Stand By Me. God, I need to catch up on my 80s
another
movies.
River
That's all I'm
Phoenix
movie.
movie. Throwing in there. I'm a big now I can't even think of his name. Richard Dreyfuss fan, so he's the narrator to the whole thing.
Yes, he's amazing. Richard Dreyfuss is dope. He's great.
It's weird fun fact. It was one of the first rated R movies that I had seen when I was younger. Like, I don't know why that was like. I don't know. It was, my parents didn't hide it from me, but it was a movie that I saw, and I remember them being like, oh, maybe he shouldn't watch this, but then they were like, nah. But it was really raw. Like, the kids were smoking cigarettes and saying fuck, and I was 6 years old, and I remember seeing that movie for the first time, and it's got another great 80s actor who's since kind of become a weirdo. What's his face? He just did the documentary in L.A. about child.
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman. That's
Corey Feldman. Another great Corey Feldman role. Not a weird movie. It's just you're one of those quintessential 80s movies. It's not even it's on every 80s list because it was Stephen King and just a good movie.
Yeah, it's based on a Stephen King novella. That's right.
Based on the Stephen King novella.
And wasn't it directed by
Rob Reiner? Yep, that's right.
Yes, it was a Rob Reiner.
Spinal Tap and
he's made so many great movies.
Dreyfuss did a bunch of films. They did. They were chill.
He's also really funny on New Girl.
Richard Dreyfuss? Or Rob Reiner?
Rob Reiner.
I didn't even know he's on New Girl.
Yeah, he plays the dad.
He's good in. He was good in what's it called? Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, he's great in that too. Yeah. So let's catch up on comments here. Has Danny ever seen a werewolf? He is a werewolf with red hair? ?
I have seen American Werewolf in London. And,
have you ever seen a werewolf? This is in reference to you saying you've seen
Have I
ghosts.
seen a real werewolf? No. Unfortunately not.
Oh,
I don't think so.
You will. Just wait. You're in Virginia now. You'll see.
I'm stoked.
All the animals are coming out because no one's outside, so it's gonna be good.
I'm fighting a few spiders to get into this part of the house.
Oh, you gotta be careful of those, man.
Okay, guys, that's Danny Dobbins' number 1 pick. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. Danny, you did it. You did your top 5, and boy, were they a memorable, fantastic top 5.
Boy, were they generic. But don't you worry, kids. He's seen other movies too.
Try to show us your face, bud. Okay.
Oh!
Okay, so now it is time for my pick for the number 1 movie to watch from the 80s for coronavirus, COVID and chilling. I had a hard time deciding, as there are many fantastic movies. This was a tough list, guys. But my choice,
Tuffy.
often repeated, often attempts have been made to copy it, and in my opinion, they have failed. But a lot of people have enjoyed the plot of this film in a very derivative way from a different movie. But this movie is the original, the real deal, guys. This is one of my favorites. It is The King of Comedy.
Oh,
King of Comedy.
yes.
That's right. I'm of
Yes.
course referring to the Joker, which I don't know. And
Okay, Andrew, can I say it? The King of Comedy is better than Joker. There,
yes,
I said
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the Joker isn't even as good as any Scorsese movie ever.
Oh, Andrew, great pull. Holy shit. I'll let you talk about it for it because God, it's like what God, go on.
This movie is so funny and so good and still so relevant, which is why it was ripped off. Scorsese's films are the best, some of the best ever made by one person. It's like he is mind blowing, and his contributions to cinema are cannot be underestimated. And so I had to have Scorsese on here because he made incredible comedies in the 80s, including After Hours, and this film are both. He made them kind of, I think, back to back. These were his like New York comedies that he did. And his sense of timing. I mean, you see, he brought it back in Wolf of Wall Street. But you see, like his, and you see it in all his films. I mean, just his sense of timing and rhythm. This is Martin Scorsese's stand-up act, right? And it is not about wanting to murder. This character doesn't want to murder anybody. He's lovable, and not in fake political reasons. He's lovable because of Robert De Niro's performance in the film is so incredible, and then Jerry Lewis playing the role that Robert De Niro took on in The Joker, which is the talk show host, which is a reference, a really, really deep reference to
A really deep one.
to King of Comedy. And boy, does Robert De Niro do a terrible job in Joker, but he is incredible in this film, and I'm obsessed with Jerry Lewis right now, and this is Jerry Lewis, like his character is like a meta commentary on his life and who he is, and late night talk shows are obviously I'm into that kind of thing, so it's just like a really awesome movie, and it goes places you won't expect. If you haven't seen this film, you have a big blind spot in your 80s comedies. What do you think, Conrad?
Andrew, damn, great pull. Okay, I'm going to say this. I challenge everyone who's listening, will see it, this episode of MovieBlab. Watch it. And it is Jerry Lewis's best performance in film. And Sandra Bernhard as well.
God, I feel bad I didn't even mention Sandra Bernhard. Are you kidding?
I don't want to
She's
give it
so
away.
good
I don't
in
want to
it.
give it away what her role is. But to your point about Wolf of Wall Street and the timing,
Yes.
Wolf of Wall Street, obviously, bigger budget, more hyperkinetic editing, more like in your face. What I love about the King of Comedy is it's you're right. There are funny things but the characters aren't playing it funny, man. It's like I would say it's more interestingly and nuanced, layered than the Wolf of Wall Street. Like the Wolf of Wall Street. It's a great movie. It's a lot of editing, a lot of this, a lot of that, but the guy's an asshole through and through.
Well, and
in the King of Comedy, all the characters are just more. I mean, the scenes breathe. It's not about hyperkinetic editing. It's not about this and that. It is like right there, man. And And Andrew, again, I want to give us, but just remember when he goes to see him at his office, and he's like, and she's like, well, I tell you what, we'll take your resume. He's like, I'll wait.
Yes, I love that.
And
she's like, well, no, that's not necessary. She does such a good job with him.
Yeah, I mean, it is so like, it's not just funny, It's funny, sad. It's funny, awkward. It's so damn good.
Well, this is Thelma Schoonmaker, who is the editor of almost all of Scorsese's films, from what I'm aware of. And so shout out to her as a big force behind this movie and the timing of this film and all of Scorsese's movies that she's worked on. Oh my God, she did The Irishman too. Except The Irishman could have used some cuts.
Yeah,
so
just a few.
So hit me up in the comments, Thelma.
Irishman 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Oh man! So that was my pick for. Danny, have you seen the film? No,
I'm gonna watch it. I have not seen The King of Comedy. I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yep.
Shit,
No
Danny,
shame,
I was not a fan of the Joker, so I'm hoping The King of Comedy is better.
This will make you even less of a fan. Although in the comments we're getting some love for Joker, as apparently everyone loves that movie. But and it's not bad.
It's
an
alright
movie.
It's
not
just
bad. It's an alright movie. It's not as good as people acted like it was. That's it.
It did need to be a DC movie, and now that I know it was partially remade, like it was a remake, then it now further proves my point that it didn't belong as a DC movie. You know, it didn't need to be the Joker's backstory, because it kind of was. It was an alright movie. It wasn't terrible.
When you watch King of Comedy, we can compare the two if you like.
Yeah, see, I had no idea that there was.
We'll get on the blab and talk about it.
That's great.
That's awesome. Well, guys, this was a sick list, I have to say. That was, of course, my number one pick for 80s comedy to watch during the coronavirus. Yeah. Cheer up with some 80s comedies recommended by your friends Conrad, Danny, and Andrew. We're right here, and we love you, and you love us.
Listen to our list.
But seriously, guys, it's been super fun. I want to thank my guests. Conrad Gonzalez, is there anything that you want to plug? It doesn't have to be, it can just be an idea, whatever you want.
I just want everyone to honestly listen to Fosse. Stay safe, because right now that's the number one thing to weather this COVID storm. So I want to give a shout out to Andrew and MovieBlab and Danny for giving you at least, how can I say this, at least 45 more hours of great excuses to stay inside and get more cinematically engaged, right?
There you go.
I couldn't agree more with you. This is all born out of quarantine, this entire show, and it's really evolving into a show that I'm really proud of, and that I hope is on the side of science. And I hope that our viewers are on the side of science. Regardless of what your government, your leadership is saying, I hope that you stay home and listen to what's actually relevant in terms of the information that's being dispersed. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But Conrad, I couldn't agree more with you. Couldn't agree more with you, buddy. So Danny Dobbins, what do you want to plug?
Well, I'm not going to plug anything of me personally, but if you're looking for anything to watch on top of these awesome movies we recommended, there's a couple things on YouTube. You can check out some pages that I've been watching. First one is Wrestling Pro Wrestling. All the past season shows are on are live streamed on YouTube, so you can watch all the shows from the past season. They're fun, they're awesome. It's fantastic entertainment, guys. It's so much fun. Second one being a group of filmmakers out in Las Vegas, Bayer Films. Two brothers that make incredible short films in the Las Vegas area. They have a YouTube, they have an Instagram, Bayer Films, BYER, Bayer Films, whatever it is. Guys, check them out. They're hilarious little short films, and they get me through the day. I love it.
That's awesome. This, of course, has been our top 5 80s movie Rex, and this, of course, has been MovieBlab. I'm Andrew Edison, and I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, for joining us. We've had a lot of fun. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're pretty much live every night, and except for a few exceptions. And most of the time, we're doing something really cool that we spent a lot of time planning out, like this cool top 5 list. Am I right, guys? Yeah. And so make sure you like and subscribe to our channels. We're on Twitch. We're on Facebook Live. We're on Instagram. We're on Periscope. And we're on YouTube. We don't care where you watch us. Just watch and interact with us. We love hearing what you guys think about movies. That's the whole point of the show. So thanks for sticking tuned. Please stay safe. And we will be back tomorrow night with more MovieBlab. That's right, more MovieBlab. Doodle-a-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And now a word from Morgan Freeman. Doodle-a-doo-doo.
Cannot speak. Are you a DJ? Are you a DJ?
Are you a DJ?
He's asking if you're a DJ. Anyway, that was it. That was supposed to be a stall for me, but it didn't work. Okay, this is the end of the show. Thank you guys. Have a good night, and please stay safe and stay home. Okay, we love you. Bye.
We love you.
Take care.
Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Edison, and you're tuned in to MovieBlab. Just a second, guys.
The clock has started.
What's up, everybody? This has been MovieBlab. I want to thank my guests, Conrad Gonzalez and Danny Dobbins. We had a really great time counting down our favorite 80s movies, and we'll be back tomorrow with way more blab. Make sure you check out our channels and subscribe to everything. We love you. Good night. Stay safe. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
Stay blazing, stay amazing, man.
Stay blazing, stay amazing.